Ladies and gentlemen, representatives of the Arab League of States, representatives of the European Union, ladies and gentlemen, members of the MEETED, Mr. Executive Director of RECRE, and Mr. Director General of AMI, the Moroccan Agency for Energy Efficiency, dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to congratulate AMI and the Mediterranean Association for National Energy Management Agencies, MEETED, and the Regional Center for Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energies, RECRE, for the opening of the second edition of MEETED in Marrakesh. It's really a great opportunity to consolidate the ties of regional cooperation in the countries of the southern and eastern banks of the Mediterranean, and really highlights the importance of energy efficiency in a robust and sustainable energy policy. Ladies and gentlemen, I would have loved to be with you today, but other commitments have taken me away from Marrakesh. But hopefully, technology is enabling us to be together. Dear colleagues, 2022 will remain in history as a year of deep changes and revolutions in the energy markets. It will also be remembered as the year when consumers and policymakers favored short-term security over sustainability. The short-term and the long-term are becoming more and more intertwined, and governments have to keep those 30 years net zero targets alive while supporting their populations to finish the month. There are several countries, including Morocco, which have undertaken adaptation measures ranging from public awareness campaigns to sobriety and energy efficiency experiments. The Kingdom of Morocco is committed to a national energy transition policy for sustainable development, and of course places this issue at the heart of its public policies. Under the leadership of His Majesty the King, may God assist him, we have increased the security, the sustainability and flexibility of our system based on the three pillars of our energy strategy. We have enabled more and more renewables, we have increased integration with global markets, and we have pursued more and more energy efficiency in a very integrated way. Ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, we have more than 4 gigawatts of renewable capacity installed in Morocco. And our renewed ambition requires acceleration and scaling up of projects. We have an objective today to install nearly 700 megawatts to 1 gigawatt of additional capacity every year for the next 5 years, 3/4 of which will be renewables. We also want to make sure that we improve return on capital employed, and we need the private sector, the national and international private sector, to be committed with us in this energy transition journey. We've managed also in 2022 to update the legal framework by liberalizing self-consumption. Anyone who can get access to renewable energy in order to access electricity at lower costs and control your energy consumption and reduce your bills. We've also improved the law on renewables for utility scale projects by imposing more transparency, a better governance, more efficient and standardized administrative process for authorization, for permitting, etc. We've also set up for the first time in the region the concept of green certificates. As far as energy efficiency is concerned, that's a key pillar, the second key pillar of our energy strategy, to reduce energy bills for the citizens, for people living and working in Morocco, and for the entire country. And we want to incentivize energy savings. So we have a number of measures that have significant saving potential, very short payback periods, and their impacts could be highly beneficial in terms of job creation and added value to the economy. The importance of energy efficiency is highlighted in our regulatory framework. We have a number of decrees related to building regulations, setting the energy performance rules for buildings. We have mandatory energy audits, setting minimum energy performance, and we also have the development of energy service companies, in particular making it possible to diversify the sources of financing for projects. We see very high energy savings potential in transportation, in buildings, in industry, and in public lighting and in agriculture. The effective execution of energy efficiency measures could allow to save up to 20% of our total energy consumption by 2030, and I personally think this is an underestimation of our potential. We need to be even more ambitious. The Ministry is updating the exemplarity pact of the state with local authorities. We want to give new impetus to energy efficiency measures in public administrations and state-owned companies. We want to rationalize their consumption and reduce our energy bill. We're closely monitoring all the trends towards smart and connected cities and their impact on buildings. And we want to develop connected, smart and energy efficient habitats, as well as resilient and integrated territories in order to improve the living standards of everyone living in Morocco. As far as R&D and innovation is concerned, we have IRAZEN, our research institute, and the private sector that are essential for upgrading energy buildings and for the rationalization and control of consumption. But as you know, ladies and gentlemen, energy efficiency policy has to be executed regularly and gradually, but more and more regularly. So the Ministry has launched a campaign to raise public awareness in July 2022 about the need to save energy. The slogan is, the mantra is, energy saving is a benefit for us and for our country, in order to change consumer behavior and adopt good energy efficiency practices. And in order to really consolidate energy efficiency in the national discourse, we've launched on November 1st, 2022, a very unique initiative to encourage consumers to look closely at their bills and improve their electricity consumption in exchange for a reward to encourage energy savings. We've noticed that the results of this unique experiment showed an electricity demand drop, particularly in December 2022. And it has also shown a very positive behavior from consumers and a total reduction of consumption of around 800 gigawatt hours. This is, of course, has a very positive impact on the national energy bill, in particular the financial situation of our national TSO, ONE, in addition to reducing a national electricity consumption. And of course, this measure aims to anchor a sense of national solidarity and the commitment of all customers to optimize their electricity consumption through the adoption of best practices in terms of energy efficiency. These results are very encouraging, but it should not be a one-off. We need to consolidate this initiative in time by repeatedly setting up concrete initiatives for consumers to consume more efficiently in the medium and long run. The third key pillar of our energy strategy, that's integration and cooperation with international markets. It's really one key pillar to strengthen the links between all the agencies for energy management in the southern and eastern banks of the Mediterranean. Like the MEETED projects, we want to harmonize energy efficiency strategies and policies for buildings, household appliances in the whole region. We want to design and implement pilot actions and more sustainable actions. We want to increase capacity building. We want to facilitate access to financing for all these sectors. We want to raise awareness of the transition to clean energy, clean and efficient energy for the buildings and appliance sectors. In Morocco, regional cooperation is really a third key pillar of our energy strategy, so we do promote energy efficiency at the regional level. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that today's exchanges and discussions will enable you and enable all the different stakeholders to make concrete and sustainable proposals to contribute to more resilient, more competitive, and more flexible energy systems. I wish you very fruitful discussions and partnerships to embark with us in our energy transition. Thank you for your kind attention.